Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. He is the only one. Inside Coco Gauff's bond with boyfriend Jalen Sera after her U.S. Open heartbreak saga. Coco Gauff, the 20-year-old American tennis star, received warm support from her boyfriend Jalen Sera after her 2025 U.S. Open exit in New York. Gauff lost in the fourth round at Arthur Ashe Stadium to two-time champion Naomi Osaka, who returned strongly this season. Days later, Coco Gauff posted a thank you note to fans on Instagram, sharing her gratitude for the journey. Sera, who has been with Gauff for 2 years, replied with an encouraging message that reminded her to keep moving forward despite the heartbreak. Coco Gauff's boyfriend Jalen Sera cheers her after U.S. Open exit in New York. After the match on September 2nd, 2025, where Naomi Osaka defeated her in straight sets, Coco Gauff reflected on her run at the U.S. Open. She shared a picture of herself walking into Arthur Ashe Stadium, with fans watching her from the stands. Her caption read, "Thank you NYC, we keep building." Her boyfriend, Atlanta-based artist Jalen Sera, quickly responded under the post with the words, "Upwards and onwards." The message caught the attention of many of Coco Gauff's fans, who praised the couple's bond. Coco Gauff shares how boyfriend Jalen Sera helps her after tough matches. Coco Gauff has spoken openly this year about how Jalen Sera plays a role in her career and personal life. In an interview with E! News earlier in 2025, she explained how he helps her handle both wins and losses. "Honestly, after a good match, I just talk to my boyfriend, my friends, everyone, 'cause I'm in a good mood. When I lose, I would say just my boyfriend, 'cause he is the only one that can take me and my mood after a loss." Gauff said. Also read, "I am so sad. Martina Navratilova mourns Duchess of Kent Catherine and recalls emotional Wimbledon bond that changed her life." She revealed that Jalen Sera often reminds her to trust the process and to look at her progress instead of only focusing on mistakes. Their bond goes back years, as Sera once studied in Atlanta, where Gauff's mother was his teacher in 4th grade. So far in 2025, Coco Gauff has a record of 38 wins and 13 losses, highlighted by a French Open title in June. While her service game remains a challenge, she continues to rely on her team, her parents, and the steady support of Jalen Sera to stay positive as she works toward more Grand Slam success. Coco Gauff's U.S. Open journey revealed more than just results. She managed pressure, leaned on Jalen's reassuring upwards and onwards, and leaned into growth, proving she's still evolving toward her next breakthrough. Coco Gauff is riding a wave of momentum. Fresh off her French Open win and Canadian Open doubles title, she's already launching into the next season with ambition, adaptability, and a quietly fierce spark. Coco Gauff has now confirmed plans to play in the upcoming WTA Finals in Shenzhen, giving her another chance to showcase resilience, sharpen her serve, and chase more season-defining victories. He is the only 1 inch inside Coco Gauff's bond with boyfriend Jalen Sera after her U.S. Open heartbreak. The lights of Arthur Ashe Stadium had dimmed. The last ball had been struck, the last cheer had echoed, and the final tears of Coco Gauff's 2025 U.S. Open campaign had fallen quietly into the night. For a player who had carried the hopes of a nation, who had danced her way into the hearts of fans with fiery grit and an unshakable smile, the sting of defeat in New York was unlike any other. But heartbreak in Coco's story does not arrive alone. It is accompanied by something much softer, quieter, and infinitely stronger love. Standing by her side, as he has through triumphs and tears, was the one person she has come to trust beyond the court, Jalen Sera. This is not the kind of love splashed across tabloids or dissected on talk shows. It is not a romance constructed for the cameras or a distraction from the game. Instead, it is something rare in the life of a 21-year-old superstar whose every move is scrutinized, a relationship that grounds, protects, and restores her. As Coco herself put it after leaving Flushing Meadows, "He is the only one who understands what it feels like when I lose like this. He is the only one who makes me believe again." The beginning of a quiet story. Coco and Jalen's story began away from the spotlight. Unlike the whirlwind introductions that define so many celebrity romances, theirs was gradual, a meeting of minds before a meeting of hearts. Jalen, a former collegiate athlete with a love for basketball and an eye for music, met Coco through mutual friends at a charity event in Miami. At first, he was just someone she found easy to talk to. I didn't even think about him in that way, Coco has said. But he was kind. He listened, and he never made me feel like I had to be Coco Gauff, the tennis star. I was just me. For Jalen, the connection was immediate. He admired her determination, but more importantly, saw the parts of her that fans rarely glimpse, the moments of doubt, the bursts of laughter, the playful sarcasm. She's competitive, yeah, Jalen once joked in an interview. But she also has this way of making you feel like you're part of her team, even if it's just cooking dinner together. U.S. Open 2025. The weight of expectation. The 2025 U.S. Open was supposed to be Coco's coronation. A year earlier, she had reached the semifinals with stunning resilience, cementing her place among the game's elite. The hype was relentless. Every practice was televised, every outfit analyzed, every opponent framed as merely another obstacle in her inevitable path to glory. But sports rarely follow scripts. In the semifinals, Coco ran into an inspired Amanda Anisimova, who played the match of her life. The crowd was restless, torn between hope and disbelief. And when the final forehand sailed long, Coco's dream of lifting another Grand Slam trophy in New York collapsed. The stadium cameras caught her eyes glistening, her chest heaving as she tried to hold composure. She waved to the crowd, thanking them with dignity, but the heartbreak was visible. To the millions watching, it was another moment of defeat. To Coco, it felt like carrying the weight of expectations crashing down. Behind closed doors, after the match, Coco slipped away from the media frenzy and the endless noise. In her suite, away from the cameras, she finally let the tears fall. And there was Jalen, not offering cliches about how proud he was, not trying to fix the unfixable. He simply sat with her. "She doesn't need me to be her coach," he explained once. "She doesn't need me to analyze forehands or backhands. She just needs me to be there, to remind her that losing doesn't change who she is." That night, Coco leaned into that truth. Between sobs and silence, Jalen reminded her of the bigger picture. He reminded her of the 10-year-old who once dreamed just of playing in Arthur Ashe, of the 15-year-old who shocked Venus Williams at Wimbledon, of the 19-year-old who had already won the U.S. Open once. "Failure isn't the opposite of your story," he whispered to her. "It's part of your greatness." A bond beyond tennis. Coco's relationship with Jalen is not about tennis, though the sport inevitably shapes it. What makes their bond unique is how much they focus on life outside the lines. They share playlists, trade book recommendations, binge-watch shows when Coco is traveling, and talk about futures that stretch far beyond forehands and finals. "He makes me laugh in the middle of chaos," Coco once said with a grin. "Sometimes when I'm stressed before a match, he'll just send me the dumbest meme. And it works. I remember not to take myself too seriously." Jalen, for his part, sees his role not as protector, but as partner. He knows Coco doesn't need saving. She's one of the most resilient athletes in the world. What she needs is space to be vulnerable, to not always perform strength for the world. The world watches, but they don't care. Of course, being Coco Gauff's boyfriend comes with its own pressures. Fans speculate, reporters pry, and social media can be cruel. But Jalen has managed to stay largely outside that circus. He doesn't seek interviews, doesn't flaunt the relationship for clout, and rarely even posts about her. "He's private, and I love that," Coco said. "Because then when it's just us, it feels real. It feels like the one thing in my life that isn't for everyone else." That privacy, ironically, has only strengthened the fascination. Fans whisper about them, post pictures when they're spotted together, and dissect every word Coco says about him. Yet neither seems to care. Their focus is not on proving the relationship, but living it, healing through love. In the weeks after her U.S. Open heartbreak, Coco took a step back. She rested, traveled a little, and spent time with family. But most importantly, she let herself heal in the safety of Jalen's presence. They walked along Miami beaches at sunset. They cooked meals with her younger brothers. They played pickup basketball, Jalen letting her win, at least half the time. And slowly, Coco's smile returned. In an interview later, when asked how she coped, She said simply, "He is the only one who made me feel like losing didn't mean I was less. He is the only one who gave me the space to be broken and still believe I could rise again." A love story still being written. Coco Gauff is only 21. Her tennis story is still being written. There will be more heartbreaks, more victories, more nights of tears and mornings of triumph. But alongside that, her love story with Jalen is unfolding with equal significance. It's not the fairy tale of constant happiness. It's the reality of two young people learning how to balance ambition with affection, fame with privacy, and dreams with daily life. It's a story where support doesn't mean fixing everything, but standing steady through the storm. For Coco, that bond is not a distraction but a foundation. As she prepares for her next tournaments, she carries with her not just the lessons of defeat, but the quiet strength of knowing that, no matter what the scoreboard says, she is not alone. Because in her words, the words that echo louder than any trophy, he is the only one.